Rabbit. Welcome to the show. Barn Burner. Another
That
chilly
doesn't
one.
count.
What do you mean?
We already talked.
No, I talked this morning early in the house. I did the rabbit.
Doesn't have to be the first thing you say.
Yeah, I did today. That's the first thing I said.
First thing you said on the show.
And
On the
first thing I said on the
show,
show.
or
You guys don't count.
Until we sell the pre-show, that counts as a win for Dean.
That's right.
Once we sell the pre-show.
May sucks anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, there's a lot of people very upset that there's snow in Calgary in May, and it's coming down right now, Rhett. It's like, so how are you, year one here? Year two? Like,
I know
fucking
who's
May, it
not
always
upset.
snows here.
I know who's not upset. The farmers that were crapping themselves all winter when there was not enough moisture.
I talked with one yesterday that
Go get it, fellas. Go get it.
Sterling Hilton, very excited about the moisture, Dean.
Bring the moisture on. We love the moisture.
Keep it coming.
Oh, they can
Love
see his
it.
number.
Love it.
Looks like we'll be down until the weekend, but the moisture is welcome, says
Yeah.
one Sterling Hilton, owner
Do you-
proprietor of Origin Malting and Brewing out in Strathmore.
Gotta grow the barley. Barley makes
Do
the malt.
you
Malt
think-
makes the beer. Beer goes in my belly.
So we'll leave Pinder out of this because he can't be trusted. Maybe we'll leave. You know what? So, Dean, envision this.
Yes, sir.
Harvest, one of the greatest times of year. You, me, wheeling the combine down the field, and we'll make Pinder deliver the food.
Deliver the food.
Well, we actually, and it was unfortunate last year just because of timing, we had the full invite out to the
Was it being
ranch.
retracted, or can we go? Can we
I think they would love to have us out there, throw us on a combine, let her get at it. Yeah, and for sure.
I'll be in a different combine. That's fine.
No,
Yeah.
you're not driving the combine. The combine
Yeah.
is integral to the success of the operation. You can be helpful by driving the food out. We'll have
Yeah.
some-
I could be at the tap room doing quality control, just making sure that
Right.
everything's up to snuff.
the name of the lunch, like what do you call it when they bring out food to the combine and eat in the field?
Is
There's
that
a
a
term,
harvest
isn't
lunch? What are we calling it?
Well, there was, you know what? I'm not sure
I
actually.
gotta call my. I'm sure there's a
You should
term.
call, yeah.
Call them right now, please, if you don't mind.
But I know this. Rain makes corn. Corn makes whiskey. Whiskey makes my baby a little frisky. If you know what I'm saying. Our next guest, he knows a lot about corn and whiskey and being in the field. He's a farmer, I think, at heart. Jamie McLennan. They call him Noodles. Noodles made from grains, and grains come from the field. So it all kind of
Which comes from the rain and the snow outside, Noodles.
comes right there. We got some snow out here, Noodles. We got some snow on the ground. People are freaking out and losing it.
Windy too. Jeez.
Freaking out. Are you all right? You
I'm
okay?
all right. I passed out in a field once. I don't.
He is a farmer.
I'm not a farmer. No, I mean I grew up in St. Albert, Alberta. I couldn't be the farmer. A lot of my buddies are farmers, and
Sure.
I love them to death. But man, they are gritty. And you just talk about, like I chuckle because they're up at whatever 4:00 in the morning on the combine, and I don't know if there's beers involved, if there's spirits, whatever they got going. But man, they work, and it's dusk till dawn. Hardest working people I know, and tough as nails. And at the end of the night or the end of the day, if they want to go into the local bar and fight a bunch of people, they might do that too, just for fun. I mean, that's
Whatever you want.
I don't know
that's
if all farmers do that.
I'm a grizzled farmer, so I've always loved them. Special place in my heart. But there's zero chance I would be a good farmer. I don't like bugs. I don't like the sun. There's just. I think I'd be a good farmhand. I'd have to be in the barn somewhere and just sweeping up or feeding the pigs or doing stuff like that. But anything to do with bugs in the outside, I'm not good. But I support them. I'll be with Pinder delivering lunches. That's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, you'll be bringing the chicken and the fried chicken and fresh biscuits out to the field. The meals in the fields.
Growing up for me, okay, I have no problem. One of my buddies has a farm, and I was 10 years old. I'll never forget this. We went out there, and the mom went out into the field, and we were playing there, and she just chopped the head off of a chicken, and the chicken started chasing me. And I was like, okay, there's a headless chicken chasing me. I don't know if I slept for weeks after that because it was just, and of course, what do we have for dinner that night? Chicken.
Yeah.
For me,
Delicious.
for me, chickens always come from Safeway. I didn't want to know the backstory of it. And you know what? Knowing the backstory was kind of horrifying, but I still, to this day, love chicken. But I had a headless chicken chasing me around for about a good 90 seconds. That felt like 90 hours. I was so rattled.
It's like most things in life, Jamie, you don't want to know.
Yeah,
No.
hot dogs. The hot dogs. Dean. You don't want
hot
to know.
dogs, turkey.
You don't need to know hot dogs. They taste great at 2:30 in the morning outside of Cowboys after you've had 20 rum and cokes. That's when hot dogs taste amazing. And it doesn't matter if it falls in the gutter, and if a car runs it over or whatever, you'll pick it up and you will eat it. That's it.
Yeah. And I got a hot dog story. I wonder if I should share it right now. It's not really related. Well, let's do it. All right. You're going to have to, I did not set this up with Jack, but we're going to have to roll. So last night, Citi Field, New York, the Mets and the Cubs. Mets beat the Cubbies by a score of 4-2, but it is the annual dollar dog night at Citi Field. $1 for a hot dog. They average at Citi Field, rest of the season, around 4,000, 4,100 hot dogs sold.
Not enough.
Last night, 44,269 hot dogs. So an extra 40 grand worth of dogs. Now, there's a fella who was on hand. He had a shirt made up, and you will see it. He was going to do the 999 challenge.
Oh boy.
9 innings, 9 dogs, 9 beers.
Wow.
And the section was getting behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're feeling it. And he's getting high fives, and he's going to do it. So they're cheering him on. By the 9th, he rounds third, heading for home. He does it. 999 challenge. I was sitting right in front of him. After he finished the 999, somebody threw a dog at him, which caused everyone to start throwing hot dogs at him. Now you've got sections throwing hot dogs. I was in the section above, seeing all the hot dogs get thrown at him was incredible, says this tweet. So they're raining dogs down on our good man, and security had to step in. And they escorted poor dude out.
What did he do wrong?
I was just going to say, like,
Popularity.
wasn't he a hero there for a while?
They start chatting, let him eat. Security and the NYPD said he was inciting a riot.
Right.
So they had to get him out. They didn't know it was end of the night. I guess they felt he'd had enough of everything.
This girl's proud of him too. That's good stuff.
He'd become too strong for the crowd. A true glizzy god. Chance of one more beer and one more dog. It was electric. One of the best Citi Field scenes in recent memory. It was a social media, and there it is. This guy rode with this legend back to the city, got the whole story. Him and his girlfriend came from Westchester to have a good time. Welder, blue-collar guy, just wants to drink beers and eat glizzies.
Wow.
And he's got the shirt. Bad day to be a glizzy. So he was keeping score. You know, you go to a lot of people like going to the ball game, and you want to, have your own scorekeeper. Yeah. So I don't know what it is there at the bottom, but it looks like that's 10 beers, 9 dogs, and he's got the hot dog hat there too. So I mean, let's be honest. It's the wrong music. I need my hero music. That's a hero in living color right there.
Not
Beautiful
all heroes
stuff.
wear capes. Look at this man. Beautiful.
You ever
Get
done the
home safe.
999 Noodles?
No, and I can't imagine his porta potty action, the moose that he had to have today. I'll tell you that. Like, this guy is Harry Dunn on the toilet today. Can you imagine? Like, it's just shaving, and here.
Assuming he got home.
From the peak of success to the
This is ridiculous. I mean, if that's, I don't know. I go to a baseball game, I'll go to a hockey game, whatever. I just sit and watch. Like, people who get involved like this, I actually admire, because I would never do it. I would just never. It never crosses my mind to get involved in like contests like this and stuff. I don't even know if it's a contest. It's just a guy who's a booze bag that's like, I'm going to have 9 beers and nine hot dogs and enjoy my life. And it turns into a riot. So good for him.
Yeah. So, I mean, now here's the thing. It seems like he had this planned. He had the shirt. He was ready to go. Yeah. You've certainly been involved in a night where you and your dumb buddies, and we all have them, where something comes up. Yeah, I'm eating 12 burgers tonight. I'm going to eat that whole pound of butter right there. I'm going to drink the liter of gravy. Like anything, what do you call it? Retro dumb money?
Yeah, dumb money.
When you
Eric Bolton used to make more money off of dumb money than he did in his contract. Every time we went out for dinner night before a game, he'd be like, dumb money? What can I do? What can I do?
The only thing I can think of, and remember Chucky Kobasu? You would have been on the
Oh,
team.
I remember this.
He drank the chocolate milk.
Yes.
He drank a 2 liter of chocolate milk. And guys were throwing money remember he'd put on, like he weighed himself before and weighed himself after. And his stomach was like protruding after, like he's in good shape, but like I don't think he physically, if you can do that, it like makes you sick. And somehow he was able to do it.
And he practiced.
Yeah. This was before practice too. Like literally before practice, he drank a 2 liter of chocolate milk, and guys were like throwing hundreds at him. Like they were keeping track on the board of like what this guy was doing. Like, you want to talk about team building? There's team building. This lunatic is drinking chocolate milk. And I don't know if he got sick or not. I can't remember if he had to puke. I can't like that. I don't remember the backstory on that one. Like, we'll have to ask somebody in the room, but I just remember that that's the last like contest I remember from adolescence that I was actively involved. I feel like I probably lost $100 on that, but we were like, guys were putting money on the board. Like he can do it. He can't do it. Like I know he did it. We watched him do it, but it was really, really like jarring because when he gets near the end of the 2 liter, like it's that big plastic jug and he's just like choking it down. Like there was a weigh in before, a weigh in after, his stomach was sticking out. Like I was like, what the hell's going on? And of course, we're doing line rushes 20 minutes later.
Oh, I don't know how he put his skates on and got out there. I really don't. And Chucky says, no way. I never puked.
Of course he didn't.
Mark of a champion, for sure. I had a buddy, you talk about dumb money. We called him the horse. His name was Frank, and he wasn't a big guy. But he could eat. And he would just throw stuff out, and you'd learn after a while, you don't say dumb stuff like, I could eat a dozen burgers right now. I'm so hungry, I could eat. And you would just hold him to it and then peer pressure him. So he'd end up eating like 18 burgers. Or the one night he had like a 10-piece KFC meal. And at that time it came with a McCain cake on the side or something. So he had to eat the McCain cake too. Wow. I mean, guys are so stupid, right?
Some animals.
Stupid. I mean, just for fun, the last thing is I remember the guy sitting in the middle between you two eating a bucket of chicken, like a full KFC, but he was doing it like every day for about 10 days.
It wasn't a contest.
Just to keep it. There was no contest involved.
It was just hungry.
Like, hey, I'm banking on a lockout. I'm going to get to 245 here by next week. So it was a flat out. What is a bucket of chicken? 20 pieces? I think, is there 20 pieces in there? 25?
There's a lot. That was my hangover cure for a while. That was my.
Jeez.
If they had Uber Eats back then, they would have just had it just delivered to the house.
DoorDash would have killed me.
Yeah. I'll save the last story because it's kind of gross. It involves it was a radio. Well, I'll tell you, it's a radio show. People will know it was a very popular one. It was called Opie and Anthony, O&A. And every Christmas they would have their Christmas special, and they had the baby bird. And what the baby bird is they had one of their big listeners who would come in, and he would drink eggnog, liters of eggnog, until he puked. So he's puking. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take to get there and how many liters. And then they had one guy, and it was, again, dumb money, sitting in the middle of the room, garbage bags all laid out. And he would open his trap to catch the eggnog vomit, a la Baby Bird.
No.
I think you could probably YouTube it. I think it's on there somewhere.
I won't watch that. It's probably been moved to the dark web.
Horrendous.
Didn't need
that. Speaking of music, I'm kicking myself right now because I was going to dig it up, and I was going to have it all ready. The Unsolved Mysteries. You remember the Unsolved Mystery?
Yeah.
Because I was talking about YouTube. I was on social media the other day, and I caught this clip. Brian Hayes, Jamie McLennan, O-Dog. What's up with Austin Matthews? Is he sick? Has he got a tickle? Is this a sore throat? Has he got a stomach virus? Has he got a case of the runs? What, or is it something else? What's the deal here? There was some high level scrutiny and sleuthing going on in Overdrive the other day.
Well, I mean, you can't, I know people get sick for many days, but now they've kind of released it. It's like, well, there was a sickness, but now there's an injury. You know,
Yes.
It's kind of morphed into an injury. So I was on the panel, I think game 4, and he had a face-off in the offensive zone. And I'm sorry, in the defensive zone, and went to push on a player. You could see him stretch out something. And then the play ends up, it was the 2-on-0, the Pasternak goal. And if you see him in the neutral zone, he can't skate. Like there was something wrong. And then they go to the bench, and he puts his hand kind of close to his mouth, and he says something to the trainer. And then second period ends, he doesn't come back. And of course, we've got master lip readers everywhere all over the world. It's a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
It's like, would you like to sweep together? And it's like, sleep, you idiot, sleep. Do you remember that episode? It's like, would you like to sweep together? Like sweep. And it's like, sleep together? What are you like?
Yeah.
Well, they've all these master lip readers that are saying, like, he's saying, I can't skate, or saying something like
I can't
that.
go. Yeah.
Obviously, there was the lip readers that had Willie Nylander saying to either Marner or Matthews, like, you know, settle down, bro. It's not junior or whatever. Again, like lots of animosity, lots of people upset. I feel like that game, because they played so well last night and whatever, like that game's forgotten. Like they're, according to everyone here, they're just winning the series now. That's it. So
Why not? Great.
you know, which they have a chance to do. You know, like they played very well last night. The goalie played well. They got
Goalie was good.
Is that their best goalie?
I was going to say, what's kept Wall from being the guy? Because the door's been open. Samsonov's kept that door open for a long time.
If you think back, he was on a pathway to being the guy.
Yes.
And then he got hurt. And he was out it was a high ankle sprain that is usually 6 to 8 weeks, and it stretched to like 12. And then he came back and really never got into form. You know, it's like jumping on a moving train. It was tough for him to get into form. He played 3 of the last 10 down the stretch and didn't play that well. So they were like, okay, we got to go with Samsonov because the other guy's just not, you know, he's not there yet. And of course, the other night, in a desperation move, I thought it was the right move. They gave him a little house money. They throw him in at 3-0. He gets a free period to play and get a little bit of cadence going, and backs up against the wall. They're like, hey, sink or swim. Well, he swam last night. He looked really good. Swayman was really good. It was a tight game. I didn't think Boston had much juice. I didn't think Boston, they looked scared to lose. And, you know, the Leafs took advantage of that, got some confidence from that. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow night. And if there's, you know, game 6 and then game 7 this weekend, if there is. But, you know, I don't know what's up with Matthews. There's lots of whispers, but the whispers none of them are factual. I just literally was at an Italian bakery and at my laundromat and at the grocery store before I came. 10 stop and chats. Everybody's got their opinion as to, like, you know, the guy who made the pizzas, like, you know what, Matthews is sick. I'm like, okay. And, you know, his cousins, brothers, uncles, sisters saw him at, you know, this. And it's just like, all right, like, I don't know, and I'm not going to guess. But for me, if he was sick, why are you around the team then? Is it
travel?
Is it a non-contagious sickness? It's an injury, and they're working through it. And I know that they were hoping to buy some time. If maybe he plays tomorrow, and if not, maybe he plays a game 7 if they force it to it. But they certainly need him. And, you know, I thought Boston would have their throat on the jugular and really take it to him last night. That wasn't the case. And you know, now they've opened the door to, hey, they pissed away a 3-1 lead last year. Let's see if they do it again.
They sure missed on a lot of opportunity too, though. Boston Wall was good, but they didn't finish.
You know, Coyle hits the post in the third period. Coyle has the chance in the slot in overtime. Frederick walks around him and he makes that right pad save. Like, you know, I thought Joseph Wall made some great saves. I thought Swayman made some great saves. It was a really, like, safe game. Both teams kind of just played, like, safe. Like, there wasn't a lot of space out there. Both power plays weren't that threatening. They just kind of were like, hey, it's another 2 minutes off the clock. But you felt like it was going to be a 1-goal game. It ended up being a 1-goal game, and Matthew Nyes gets the goal. So they live another day, and we'll see if they can get some momentum off of it. We'll see if Boston can, win on the road again. But, we got a series here.
What did you watch some Colorado, Winnipeg at all? And I don't know what your thoughts were going in. What's Hellebuck thinking right now? Or is that a team issue?
Okay. So I'm going to say this. I think it's a lazy narrative to just go, that's the goalie's fault, and that's it.
I'm not doing that, and a lot of people are.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm going to have to argue until I'm blue in the face on my show, and everybody who just goes, okay, Hellebuck gave up 25 goals in 5 games. Like, obviously you need more saves. Like that I'm not challenging that. But you watched last night, 2 go in off his defenseman. One's a shot that hits a stick that's going 20 feet wide and hits Pionk's skate and goes in. And you're like, this is how it's going. Hellebuck didn't make enough saves. But I thought Colorado, after that first game, murdered them. If you look at, like, flat out murdered them. Like, statistically, underlying numbers, top players against top players. And their only chance was if Hellebuck stood on his head and stole games. He didn't. He wasn't able to steal games, and Georgie 5 was good enough to get through. And honestly, the one thing that I thought they had a chance on, because they started on home ice, because Colorado just destroys people in their own building, and they did it. They just flat out did it. But in your home ice advantage, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Winnipeg gets 1 or 2 out of that and forces this to a longer series. Just wasn't the case. Colorado was the better team. The top players, if you went top players,
not close.
It's not even close. But why I said it's a lazy narrative, it's just the goal, like Hellebuck, look at his 5.5 save percentage, or 5.5 goals against, and his save percentage was terrible. Yes, it was. But it was apples and oranges. Like, Colorado just outclassed them at everything. And that was an ass-kicking, a flat-out ass-kicking. But I will say this, and I know I'm getting long-winded. I think Winnipeg had a really successful season. Because I don't know if we had this conversation in August before Hellebuck.
You wouldn't have believed it.
We wouldn't have believed
the playoffs.
We wouldn't have believed they were a playoff team. I would have thought they were going to blow it up. And they get the commitment, they settle things down, they make the playoffs, they get over 100 points, they had a really good season there, and there's some framework of some really good players there. Perfetti he had 20 goals, but he still was a healthy scratch, and he's a young kid still learning. I still think they'll move somebody maybe from that core. Wouldn't surprise me if Nikolai Ehlers might be available, type of thing, to just kind of try and add to that group. But you look, Velarde, if he was healthy the whole season, he's a hell of a player. Iafallo was good. They had some young D push through. So I think Winnipeg overall, outside of this ass kicking in the five games here, had a pretty successful season. Like, I don't know if you're a fan of Winnipeg, you'd look at it that way, but from the outside, I thought they had a pretty good season.
Well, people made a huge stink about those attendance numbers. Like, you got to remember, confidence was so low about this team in the offseason. That's when people buy their season tickets. Those guys didn't renew until late in the summer, to your point. And then it's like, okay, we're signing up for more of the same. But that's a huge year culturally for them. They got a big decision on Brendan Dillon there, who's been really great for them. And, I mean, geez, the one thing you'd think, what is it, a first, a second, and a third out the door for 2 rentals, and now poof, Toffoli and Monahan are gone, and they couldn't really keep up in that series.
Yeah, they weren't. And I don't know. I said this a while ago. Like, Colorado looks like they're a serious team. Like, they look damn good. I don't know who else to keep up with them. When their top guys are going, their depth seem like that's like you need an answer for Nichushkin, because there's no. So if your top players go, okay, like, we're going to try and just cancel. You're not going to cancel McKinnon and McCarr, but you're going to try and defend them and, do it by team defense. But Nichushkin and Rantanen, like,
that was the thing. Rantanen had nothing until the third period. Oh, and this guy's world class too.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he's 6'4" and 230 pounds. Like, same thing when Nichushkin gets the hat trick. They're like, how are you going to move that out of the front of the net? And he's got skill. and he's engaged. Like he's playing hockey and engaged instead of, there's well-documented issues that he's had, but he's a hell of a player and they've got him healthy. And, this team, they made the decision. And I thought the Sean Walker trade was really interesting because they move away from Bowen Byram, but they get the right shot who can move the puck. Mm-hmm. And then they get Middlestad. Rhett, he was in your backyard. He's a good player. I was kind of shocked that they went for him because you go from Johansson, who was big and slow. Middlestad can move, but he's a smaller guy. And I thought, okay, maybe he might not win a lot of those battles, but he's pretty good.
He was good in that series. Everybody was, but
they get Duran back, boys. The next series, Duran did not play a game in this series.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
look out.
Well, and Drouin's had a resurgence, right? Like, confidence and not being in the spotlight. It's amazing how a guy just can relax and play, where he's not in his hometown where there's two languages not talking about him on the radio every day and talking about this and that. Like, they're in Colorado. He's just playing hockey with his buddy Nate, and he's doing a hell of a job at it.
We were talking with Seravalli the other day, I guess it was yesterday, and just talking because now here, this series, now we had a couple that are going to extend, but you had 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. There has not been a lot of drama or excitement, even overtime games. We had an overtime, but there hasn't been edge of your seat type stuff. And maybe we get it in round 2, which takes us to Vancouver and Nashville. Again, this is Vancouver averaging 18 shots a night through 5 games or whatever it is now. It's low scoring, and there's been some drama, but it's been 1% chance type stuff. 2 goals in a hurry, and you get 2 goals with the goalie out, and you win it in overtime. And that, I don't know what to make of this series. It's given the fact they're on their 3rd goalie, they're in good shape. But I don't know what we're watching here, because if you said, no, this is Nashville starting to take over a little bit, it could be because it feels like we're playing a Nashville type of a series here. The Predators are probably happy with the style of play that's being played because the Vancouver power play is asleep and Pettersson can't score, and the whole thing. It's really kind of playing into Nashville's hands, I feel like.
It is. And Colton Sissons, that makes it 2-2. He hits the post with an empty netter. That seals the game, and all of a sudden you're heading into Vancouver feeling pretty good about yourself. Nashville's playing to their identity. It's low event hockey, and you're relying on the couple of skilled guys. And there's more than a couple, but the guys that they have, Yossi goes end to end on that play. And, they got this kid Evangelista, who's a really nice player. You got Forsberg. You got Ryan O'Reilly, who's a guy who knows how to win and knows how to battle. Like, they've got some players there that you sleep on, but it's the style of play. Like Vancouver, before they won that game, I was watching that broadcast, and they might have the least amount of shots they've ever had in a playoff game leading up to that surge. I think they had 12 shots or something. It was something insane where they just couldn't get to the goalie. So it is a low event series. But Nashville likes it that way, and you see it's 1-1, 1-1. All of a sudden, Carrier shot from the point, seeing eye shot in the net, 7 minutes. Vancouver can't get near the net and in the late push. Like, to me, Nashville could easily be up 3-2 in this series, but they're not. The one thing that Vancouver's bought is time for Pettersson to get going because he hasn't been. And that's, when I look at the series as they extend, you think of the top players who haven't been going. What it does is give them another day to go, okay, maybe tonight's the night. And I could say that. I can go the Leaf series. Mitch Marner hasn't gone, but David Pasternak hasn't either. We haven't seen a Pasternak domination. We've seen Marchand. We've seen Matthews. I haven't seen Pasternak or Marner.
Since game 1.
Right. So you look at every series, they've got a storyline within, and the goalies are interesting. Like Casey DeSmith, is he available? The guy backed up last night. So he's available. Is he available for game 6? Game, what is it? 3-1?
6 in Nashville.
Yeah, game 6. Yeah. So is he available for 6? So, and then Demko, I've heard conflicting reports on how bad that injury is. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but sounds like it's not great. So, who knows? But they've got to survive with what they have. But I'm waiting for Vancouver to have a game where they just put a stamp on it and go, yeah, we're going to get more than 18 shots. We're going to dominate. We're going to be the faster team. We're going to be the more determined team. And that'll get them done in the series. But right now we haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's the Demko cloud of secrecy or confusion or fog, whatever. Like at this time of year, you're just not going to get shit. That's why we don't know what's going on with Matthews. Sarah Sivian was sort of saying on Twitter that she thought he might just not be playing in the playoffs, and if he was, he'd be way under 100. Does that sort of match up with what you're hearing on Demko?
I mean, again, I've just heard that it's not just a, I wouldn't speak out of turn, but I've heard it's not great. I've heard they're kind of downplaying it. And again, I'm hoping I'm wrong, or the person who told me is wrong, because, if it's what the person told me, he'd be out for a while. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you see him in round 2 or, but I'm hoping that they get there, because I think it would be a hell of a series if they end up playing Edmonton. If they get through and Edmonton gets through, then you can, I think that would be a pretty significant series.
Now, you went to the laundromat, the Italian bakery, and where else?
The grocery store.
Grocery store. Okay. So you had a stop and chat. Now, I hope you didn't have a chat and cut, though. Did somebody try and pull the chat and cut while they were doing the stop and chat? Because if you're online, you don't want people, right? You can't do the chat and cut.
I was in the automated line where you scan your own stuff and all that. I do that. You get the bags, you bring your own bags, all of that type of stuff. And had a good chat. No, one of the guys who works there was yelling. What I do is I always wear headphones.
It's a sign.
Show that I'm like listening to music.
Boy, I'm busy. Yeah.
But it doesn't
just
matter.
One of these.
People are still, they're waving you down, talking, which I don't mind. I'm not popular enough to draw attention. It's the random person who, recognizes you and goes, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think?" So laundromat, the guy knows me. So I had to have that conversation. He's a good guy. Already gone through that before. So this guy's a good guy. And the Italian bakery, they're true to it. They don't speak English. They speak Italian in there, and they don't care what the Leafs are up to. It was the guy in line. But the lady behind the counter, she just wants her money and you to get the hell out of the way. That's it. So I've got a lot of respect. But man, they had some great gnocchi and some arancini balls there.
I was going to ask what we go with. Yeah, I was going to ask.
The gnocchi is solid, like really solid. Oh, let's get it in the camera there.
Oh man, a little red sauce on the gnocchi, nice.
Yeah, and the arancini balls, like my daughter loves these. These are good.
Yep.
Put a little tomato sauce on them.
And the gelato on the back end, or
no. I've been. You know what? That we've got enough sweets around here. We have a junk drawer at this house. I don't know if you guys know. It's traumatic because these kids. I don't want to give them diabetes if they had it, because it's like it. They go to this drawer and they just open it up and there's junk food everywhere, but only one a day. That's it. Like
I see,
a little treat, a little nugget.
Yeah, like dogs, right? You can't give them a bunch of treats. Because
they'll just, My son wanted a cream puff for breakfast yesterday, and I said, you can't have that.
Yeah. I'll give you this is as someone who likes to avoid public and all of that.
Yeah.
I do the same. You put the headphones in. And then what you do is if you can tell somebody's coming, hey, you got one of these going, you just do one of these and you go.
Oh, on the phone. Yeah.
And then if you need to, well, I'm not sure. 5.2% sounds good. I'm not sure, but the ROI on what's that contract now? What are we talking about? So 2.6 is that? It's
the old talking to yourself. There you go. See, it's not a big deal. Sometimes what I struggle with the stop and chat is I don't have the answers. People think I have the answers. I've got zero information as far, like somebody said, what do you think's wrong with Matthews? I'm like, I think he's hurt.
You got to start shit, man.
No rats.
Yes.
He's got a bit of a coke problem.
I was in Toronto and Jamie McLennan said that Austin Matthews is a cokehead.
This is how
fires start online.
It's more like I just don't. Maybe you talk to somebody, but even if I talk to somebody in the organization and they gave me a confidential nugget, why would I share it? It's confidential. Then I'd never get a nugget again. Yeah. So it's counterproductive. But it's like the one guy's like, "What do you think's wrong with him?" I said, "I think he's injured. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like
you gotta."
The one thing is it's under cloak and dagger because it's the playoffs. And you know what? Speaking of playoffs, like how about the Wranglers? How about our Wranglers there?
Wolf's been unreal. 86 of 89 in 2 games. He's been absolutely sensational.
And in looking at him, okay, and I know we have the marks from chat and all that, but he won his last 4 games in the NHL, and now he's gone down to the AHL and doing what he's doing down there. Like, it's just a good sign that, like, I think maybe early on he wanted to settle in and show that he's an NHL goaltender, but it's a good sign that he's gone down and he's producing.
Bought in.
And it just shows that he is an NHL goaltender. Like, so he's going to get more experience. And there's lots of guys down there. Like, is there any guys other that you believe will play for the Flames?
Coronado.
So, you know,
Pelche.
Like, you get some guys that are getting some really good experience.
Yes.
And then Connie can look at that and say, okay, instead of signing, you know, player X, we can have a kid push through into that spot. And, you know, I think that really bodes well for the organization moving forward, because you're like, okay, we're drafting, we're developing, we're pushing some kids through here instead of just signing a guy who's 27 and, you know, like you've got to show that you can draft and develop.
I'm totally with you, except that Connie's in a spa in Helsinki or something. Like, he's not watching
Some Turkish bath with
he's not
Iggy.
watching
Yeah.
AHL hockey.
No, okay,
nude saunas in Scandinavia.
Is that what it is?
Even if
Cold
he's in a
plunging and
sauna,
nude saunas.
if he's in a sauna in Scandinavia with Iggy, he better be talking about drafting his son. That's
Yeah, he gets something worked out, baby.
Yeah.
'Cause if you get something worked out that, like, Tij is like, okay, maybe, you know, depends on where are they slotted? 9?
Yeah, they're 9 right now, but pre-lottery, which is Tuesday night.
Okay, so
This is the question, by the way. You were saying that you're walking around town, everyone's like, what's up with Matthews? The question in Calgary is, are they going to draft Tij Iginla? And it's like,
Right.
well, we we don't know the 8 people selected
If you want
ahead
me
and
to
if he's
start
on the
stuff,
board, but lovely
that's-
question.
if I'm at Safeway in
Toby Coke.
Etobicoke, no, if I'm
Marta Loop.
at
Marta
Marta Loop, if I'm at Safeway in Marta Loop,
That's the question.
I'll start that. It'll be, yep, I talked to Iggy, because I'll just put it back on Iggy. I'll be like, yeah,
Son of a bitch.
Lock it in.
Yeah,
It's done.
Jerome told the Flames not to draft him because he won't come. He doesn't
Yeah.
want that kind of pressure.
He won't put the jersey on.
Yeah, just flip it the other way.
Can you
Yeah, he
imagine
doesn't.
they draft him 9 and he puts the jersey over his arm?
Yeah,
Connie's just like, what's going on, Noodles? You're killing me here.
yeah.
Oh no! See, if it was Calgary stuff, I might, like, especially with Iggy, try and jam him up a little bit. Maybe I could start something, but I'm not doing it here in Toronto with Matthews or anything like that. I'll just do it with Tij Iggy a bit, and maybe I can pressure him into. We can pressure him into seeing if Tij. Now, would Tij be available at 9? Sounds like he might be creeping up a little bit more.
He is creeping up. He's not in the top 10 on any draft rankings, but he keeps doing crazy things. Like it was the first round series for Kelowna. That'll bump him up. And now his performance at the under 18s, that'll bump him up. I don't think he gets past 10 anymore.
You got to think, sorry, and if you got to go, just say the word. But you got to think, if you're a team in that slot, you're going to take the sure thing. And for me, he's a sure thing. Like, this kid is not going to be a 30 goal scorer. He's not going to be a flame out kind of pick. Like, there might be flashier players around it, but I'm like, no, this guy's going to get me 30 and he's going to play his ass off. And I know the pedigree.
And he's just on this trajectory. Like, what did he have? Like 16 points last year or something?
Like, it's like
almost
Iggy.
a goal a game. It's like, he's not done doing this.
It's
like,
the DNA. You're drafting the DNA.
You are.
Yes.
Going, we know the family. We know Jerome. We know Kara. We know, like, you know the pedigree of them.
Or it's at least a tie break, right? If you've got some guys,
yeah.
well, I don't know which one.
Like, to me, the tiebreaker is if you've got 2 players that you know really covet and either same type of skill set, or just if your scouts are kind of torn on them, you go with the one who has the NHL dad, who's a Hall of Famer, who is, you know, a guy who's going to give him advice, going to help him along. The kid's grown up in the environment. You know, his dad, I'm sure, talks to him, gives him advice. His dad has coached him. Like, if anything, that's the tiebreaker for me. It's just the DNA. And who knows? I mean, I don't know if Tij has Iggy's, you know, I don't think he's a fighter.
None of them do.
But he might have, guaranteed he's got Iggy's competitiveness, right?
I was going to say, when Iggy was 17, did you know he was that or not yet? I don't know.
I don't know. You'd have to ask, like, the Kamloops hug there. Tucker and Strudwick and all those guys, Jason Holland and all, Tyson Nash.
Yeah.
They all have a Kamloops hug every summer talking about how many cups they won.
And they're assholes. All of them. Don't
They're
like
just
it. You know
copying-
what? I take it back.
Don't
Terrible
draft it,
pedigree.
Yep.
You
Oh,
don't
okay,
want
yeah.
that kind of bad attitude DNA in your room. Get him out of here.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. You're a beauty, pal. Keep up the good work. I'm going to keep an eye on you, see what kind of.
Gnocchi.
But the gnocchi, I'm going to have
Yeah.
some of it. I just got to make sure it tastes good.
The
Yeah,
gnocchi
test.
and then a nap, maybe. Hey, that's usually how it works for me.
Busy day. I've got the car wash today, boy. It's a
Yeah.
long one for me. I'm doing the Edmonton game tonight after my show, and so I will be.
What's that hat?
This says vintage goalie.
I
Same
like that.
matching shirt too.
Send
Very
me one.
comfortable.
Wow.
It's a guy in Ottawa,
Mm.
and he sent me some free stuff, but I like buying it off the website. It's super cool, and he's an awesome guy. We kind of become friendly, and he runs like logo. He sent me a note the other day on Instagram. He's like, "What do you think of this new logo and stuff?" So I don't know. I love the logo. I think it's really cool. Although I did get stopped at customs with this T-shirt.
Hell's Angels?
No, because it looked like, okay, so if you don't have the vintage, like if you don't see the vintage goalie here, you just see that the kind of, it looks a little shady, right? It looks,
It's
so the guy's
Hell's
like,
Angels.
what's on your shirt?
Well, and you kind of give off that impression that you're a tough customer and a bad character.
Yeah, the
Got
way
the
I
ink,
roll, I
yeah.
was wearing a,
You know,
a handkerchief
not
on
sure.
my head, and I was, like I had
Leather
my
vest.
arms- I was
This is
showing
the
my
kind of guy we
tattoo
can be
off.
trusting
Yeah, I had a leather
to enter the
vest on.
country. Yeah,
But-
that's right.
No, the guy just asked. He's like, "What kind of brand is that?" And I think he was waiting for me to be like, Hell's Angels or whatever. And I said, "It's a goalie, vintage goalie." And so then we ended up having to stop and chat.
There you go. See, okay.
I'll stop.
Between Cove and this, like you
Yeah,
could stop
you're
doing these
too-
late night shifts.
You're too nice with the stop and
I
chat.
do love Cove though. There it is.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you boy.
see?
Just
Tell
plug it
you.
away. Good to see you, pal.
Have a
Chat
good
to you
one.
next week.
We'll chat soon.
You betcha. There you go. Jamie McLennan, good guy. Of course, people are going to be stopping and chatting. It's Noodles. Everybody wants to talk to Noodles.
Great guy to talk to.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on
Dean,
I've got time.
I do that to the
you
show.
do have time. It's the exact not truth. You just don't want to do it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But sure, you don't have time.
It's odd people bring that up, Pinder. I was actually thinking about Boom on the way in to do the show. And I
Really?
was thinking the exact
Mhm.
same thing.
What
I'm
were you
like,
thinking about
if
me?
If the Boom Cat got out, like he could cause some celebrity, like his own
Yes.
celebrity status would be immense. He just
Yeah.
really fights it.
Goes to
Really
the dome
right.
once a year. It's like a coronation, it's
Yeah.
a homecoming.
Well, and I mean, he
annual
is
pilgrimage.
so busy. That's the thing. I understand why he can't get out and about, but man, if he just could.
I gotta let him go, guys. I don't know
Yeah,
He's baking. He's got buns.
I made some
croissants.
jambalaya yesterday.
How was it?
It was all right.
Boomer's
Here's
buns.
the thing. Here's the thing. I had to leave it.
Mm.
I don't like leaving it. I had to leave it because I had to go pick up so and so from school and take so and so to hockey and then come home. And in that 3-hour window, it's like, well, have you been how you been doing, jambalaya? You been on your own here, and the rice kind of hadn't cooked right.
Have you been behaving?
Had to add more broth than I was happy doing.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and again, just if you do see Boomer, don't let him do the hand signal. Just give him a big hug. There you
Hug
go.
him up.
Big hug. Big hug.
Yeah,
Don't
so
worry, they won't hear this hug on your phone call. Big hug.
So at 6.3%, is that the kind of
Well, that's what they know you're full of
Sure.
shit because you don't do math.
You're not a
so-
numbers guy. They know the show. They know that.
but that's why I'm asking these
full
questions.
smoke screen right there.
Vina Nova,
Ooh.
Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialists. I've been in cahoots. I've been in
Cahootin'.
contact with our buddy Justin over at Vina Nova, and we decided we're going to do is we tell you about custom orders. Custom order. Sat down with Justin, went over a few things. I was telling you this before. He knows about that stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
I
In
don't.
the right business.
Yeah, because he's asking a lot of questions and going into detail. And what other jewelry do you have, and what do you wear with this, and what's it like? Just kind of, is this going to be too similar to something that you already have? Is it going to be too dissimilar? Is it going to like too much of a step? Like not questions that I'm
I never thought of that.
Even
actually,
on my
Justin.
fake phone call, I'm not going to be thinking of that. But he does. And and then beyond that, we're talking about lab-grown diamonds. The only Calgary store that specializes exclusively in lab-grown diamonds. Savings, 70%, sometimes up to 80%. You're paying far less for a lab-grown diamond, which in some cases is a superior gem to what's coming out of the ground. Vinanova.com is the website. Check them out downtown in their showroom at the second level of Stephen Avenue Place. Maybe it's you're getting that engagement ring. Maybe it's an anniversary. Maybe it's a gift for yourself, or what a gift just in general. They have a wide selection of stuff. And then, yeah, if you're looking to do something special, they can absolutely do that for you as well. See Justin and the staff over at Vinanova. Same chemical composition and crystal structure as an earth mined diamond. We've said this before. Some gemologists can't tell the difference. Put on their little their orb thing there.
Orb.
I can't.
Monocle.
I'm Johnny Gemologist here, and I can't tell the difference. I wish. I'm a little embarrassed, quite frankly, because I went to gemology school for a long time. Student loans out the yinger, and I consider myself to be near the top in the gemmy field. And damn, you got me. Which one's mined and which one's the lab grown? That's what we're talking.
It's embarrassing for old John and Georgie, geologists.
Oh man, Johnny gemologist, egg on his face. Parents are disappointed. They can't believe they sent him to gem school.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me after all of this, you can't tell the difference between an earth mine diamond and something that's grown in a lab?
I bet he doesn't know the difference between a ruby and an emerald. I never loved him.
I told you gem school was a waste of money.
You said he had to go.
Chasing your dreams, my ass. Vinanova.com, Vinanova.com. Again, that website, Vinanova.com. Interesting. I was thinking during that chat with Noodles, we really do have an inside source. Like when we need info, Rhett can get us some info and get it in a hurry.
Well, in theory, yeah.
Very rarely is it anything hockey related. If you need to know if someone puked after drinking a 4-liter of chocolate milk,
yeah,
boom, like that. Just like that. If we need to know what the name of the drink was at the Taquiera place in San Jose,
done.
If he can, we're going to know in seconds. He's got the contacts. We'll get it one way or the other. Who are the Flames taking at 9? I don't know. Markstrom is staying, going.
Hey, Connie, who threw that plate at the Christmas party? Right. Do you want to ask him about free agency? What the fuck?
Hey, you and Iggy over there? Yeah. Is it a Turkish bath or what is? What do you guys go to over there?
Are they
full naked with chicks?
You with the leaves?
Yeah. Is that with the hot rocks or is it like the boards or what do we got? All right, check you later. Did you ask him about Markstrom? Oh, he's our insider, folks. He's our insider.
It's important stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Time for, are you ready for the Pinder Report?
Oh, hell yeah.
I hope so, because I am pumped. Couldn't sleep last night. So
you know what? You know what I've got for it? High hopes.
I got high hopes.
I got Jack. God damn. When Jack laughs, I need you to let it breathe. I got high hopes for today's Pinder Report. There were 4 games last night. There were all kinds of happenings going on.
WHL played.
Yeah.
AHL?
We got a little AHL teaser for you.
Baseball.
Baseball.
We've got one clip called Bedroom Snake. So let's get her going.
Wow. Can't wait.
It's not
Village Honda. The Honda Civic continues to lead the way in value, reliability, and performance. You know what the Civic is? I'll tell you what, because as a father now, kids getting older.
Yeah.
When your daughter is leaving town and going off to school, Civic. That's the car you get for your daughter who's going off to university or college. Why? Affordable, reliable performance. You never have to worry. A lot of times you'd be like, geez, I hope that car, everything's okay. Is it? Oh, is it a Civic? I'm going to go lay down because I can rest easy knowing that my lovely daughter is behind the wheel of a Honda Civic. 10 out of 10 in car and driver's comprehensive vehicle testing.
Good
The
score.
Civic the Type R, the Type SI, ranked number 1 and number 2 respectively in the sport compact category, which is not to say if you're a guy, you can't drive a Civic. It just feels like that's the one, you know? Wasn't it a Kenny Chesney song, right? She had the Honda loaded down with
Well,
Dad's
Dean, that was
credit
my
cards
first car. I'll tell you that.
and her Abercrombie jeans, right? There goes my life.
There goes my
There
life.
goes it.
Yeah.
She had the Honda loaded down with Abercrombie clothes and 15 pairs of shoes and his American Express. It's time for the
Pinder
Report.
Thank you, fellas. Let's get to the action from last night in the playoffs. As Dino noted, 4 teams facing elimination. Staving Leafs, not staving Islanders.
Good.
Not staving Jets. And
Good.
staving Predators.
Good.
To start sifting through it. What happened to the Boston Bruins last night?
Are you asking us? Oh.
There's Marchand. We love the art Twitter account. I thought you'd like this one. Do you know? The Death of
I
St.
grabbed
Joseph.
that one also, yeah.
By Gioacchino Acerto. Okay, sure. Good. Awesome. The Avs, they did indeed punch their ticket for round 2. It felt inevitable. And
come on.
dear, you got crying Jordan. Why is I'm saying to Jack, like, it's kind of getting old, but then it still makes me laugh. So maybe it's not getting old.
And like that's the start of the game.
He knew. He's seen this.
You think he
Avs
knew?
offense. Oh God! Does everyone in Winnipeg knew? You saw the resale tickets. No one would believe.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the others are through.
How'd you like to be dead?
Yeah, they're dead.
Exactly. Oh boy. And the Jets got some decisions here, fellas. They do.
I feel, oddly, do you feel bad for them? Either fans
Do
or
I
as a
feel
GM
bad?
or
I
whatever.
feel bad for the fans because they didn't even get really a series and they got railroaded by a team that's too good.
Like
that
Flames,
division's just
right?
mean. Imagine they'd won that division. You got to play Vegas. Like, what do you do? Like, I feel bad for them. Yeah, I do. You're not as good as the Avalanche. That does not mean you're bad.
Yeah.
There's no shame.
And they actually spent picks and they did load up.
Yeah.
They went for
Look at those top 4 on their UFA list. Toffoli, Monahan, Rentals. Dylan's been a great fit there. And DeMello's actually been a pretty integral part of that blue line. That's there's some holes there. They'll fill the forwards. I wonder about that blue line.
and Larry in net.
Larry's been a great backup there. Larry went to Vegas. Larry's played elsewhere. Larry came back to Winnipeg. I feel like Larry has got it good there. You don't have to play a lot behind Kellebuck, and when he does, he's solid. That's been a nice marriage between those two for a long time. Second stint there, right?
Yeah.
I think Larry probably stays. Okay. What was the other series? Well, the Canes, they are moving on. Ride the bot. Oh, no, Pat Roy. Patty. Jeez. This one's better because it's zoomed in. No, why the players? They don't look too upset. Is that the Brock Lobster there? He's fine.
Well, that's Horvat in front, and that's Martin on the left.
Yeah, Matty Martin. Jeez.
Anytime you got a Hall of Famer,
a
Hall of Famer's in your ear giving you advice, you listen up.
A lot of screaming there, yelling, mouths open. Mr. Svechnikov, Bernsey, love it. Okay. Yeah. Been very good. No surprises there. We got the Rangers and the Canes. That was the second round matchup you could bet on happening. Everything else, you're like, I have no bloody clue. All these other series.
Let's go, right? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Capitals,
Let's go.
Islanders.
Yep. Islanders friendly. Yeah, what do the Islanders got going on for contracts here? Okay, so Clutterbuck, Matt Martin.
Matt Martin has to be done at some point, does he
And
not?
how old Clutterbuck?
I know, still.
But old Lou, he doesn't mind. I mean,
Yeah, he likes old. They do have their picks this year, if you look. They got their first, second, fourth, fifth, sixth. So they only moved the fourth. It's an old team that doesn't have a ton of skill. I think they need a Kuzmenko. They should trade a couple first for him. Let's go.
36, old Calvin Clutterbuck.
That's a heck of a career for a guy playing the way that he does. Same with Matt
Played
Martin.
1,064 games.
Wow.
Yeah. And another 81 in the postseason. Good for you, Cal. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Where's your Matt Martin age? He's
You want me to
no?
take a peek? See, I'll take a peek.
He fought Matt Rempe this year. That's not easing himself out of the gig here.
He's 34.
That's it. Feels like he's been around for.
Palmieri 32, Anders Lee 33, Pajot 30, Casey Cizikas 32, Clutterbuck 35, 34.
That's too many guys in their 30s for this league.
Way too many, especially for a team that it's not Crosby, Letang, and Hall of Famers. They're all good, but no one's great. Matt Martin, 45 games away from 1,000, right?
Good for hey, he goes about is pretty honest about what he's got to do out there. It's just seems like he's been doing it a long time. Hopefully he gets there. I don't even know if he's
okay. Norris finalists are announced. It's the who's going to finish second and third to Quinn Hughes. Let's take a peek. Quinn's had a monster year. Roman Josi, good still. We're seeing in that series with those two squaring off. And Cale Makar down year might have to settle for second or third in the Norris Trophy voting. He's looking okay in the playoffs, though, Dean.
Did you see him take that shot last night?
Yes, I did. I'm worried. What was it? A shoulder?
It was a shoulder right to the old, there,
sternum.
Retro.
The old sternum, the old Matthew Tkachuk.
And weird that the refs call a 5-minute major.
Then looked at it and
look at it. There's no penalty.
There's no infraction on the play. Okay. Which, when you have that option, that's great.
At least they have the option.
Right.
Yeah.
But if they didn't have that option, I don't think you're calling a major there.
What if that was
Joe Pavelski against the Golden Knights?
No, I was thinking, what if that was
remember that?
Dylan Stanley or somebody laying on the ice, or Logan Stanley? Do you think that gets the same quick 5-minute as Cale Makar?
I don't think
Makar's on the ice. Oh my!
Wouldn't have hit him on the ribs
Suspended.
either. Yeah. So Rhett's word was buzzing around my head when I saw that. I was like, ribbage.
Some ribbage.
Maybe a little winded and ribbage combo.
Yeah,
the good news is they get to sit and watch Dallas and Vegas beat the snot out of each other for at least 2 more games. If you've got some equity in Colorado in your playoff pools, you're hoping that Makar's 100% for game 1 or round 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he stayed in, he played. That did look like a shot to the sternum and ribs, and got his wind knocked out. We've all been there.
We have. Tonight, what do we got? How many banger? Tonight. Oh, 2 banger. Look at this. A series at 2-2. What a sight. Like Haley's Comet or Dean leaving his house. It's the only one we have, friends. This has been a tight series, and then the nightcap has not been as close. Please, LA, just 1 more game. I don't even want you. You can't. I'm not asking you to win the series. Just get them on 2 more flights. That's all.
Get them tired out a little bit. Yeah.
Especially with Vancouver having to go back to Tennessee because we know how far east that is, boys. Oh, God. Speaking of close series, the Dallas Vegas. How do you pick these 2 teams apart? 2-2, goals for 11-11, power play goals 2-2. Team is scoring first twice each. It's right down the middle. This is our best chance at a game 7, fellas.
I would just
the obvious.
Call the other coach and say, flip. What do you want? Heads or tails?
Colorado's already done. Let's just flip this. We need some rest. Whoever's going to play them.
If we want,
I just call this game 7 tonight.
Sure.
Just call this game 7 and be done with it.
My owner says he wants the gate revenue. Actually, I don't know that I'm allowed to agree to that. Shit. Edmonton, LA tonight. What are the storylines here? Well, the Kings held the Oilers to 4 high danger chances and lost 1-0. A power play goal was the difference. That was game number 4 in LA. They did not split at home. The Oilers got both on the road. And McDood only has 1 goal this series to go with his 9 or 10 assists. Careful, LA. Very careful. Careful.
Don't like their chances. It's my team.
Careful.
I'm not going to win any booze.
The Bolts, interesting offseason. Julian Brisebois met with media yesterday to talk about the multiple moving parts there. We definitely haven't got a chance to talk about Steven Stamkos. This is Gabby Shirley, which sounds like 2 people, not 1. GM pumping tires on Stammer. It's obviously a priority to see if we can get this done. I am very hopeful. Another reporter gets the scoop on Victor Hedman, who's eligible for an extension this summer, noting that, Yes, they do like Victor Hedman. And I talked to his agent yesterday, very preliminary. We're going to go circle back once we have time to debrief. We'd love to keep Victor going forward. Elite defenseman, one of those special all-time players, an all-time great Tampa Bay Lightning and Bolt. Still super productive. No reason to believe he's not going to be the case moving forward. Can they keep it together? What are the numbers? What is the appetite for these guys to stay? We'll see. But Brisebois, less prickly there than what we saw in the summer regarding Stamkos. And rightfully so. Really strong finish to the season.
And I think that's, I mean, regardless, and I'm not trying to let the air out. That's what you want to portray, right?
Yeah,
This
I agree.
guy's our captain. We love this guy. What a great season. We've
chatting.
talked to him already.
Hopeful.
Really looking forward to sitting down, even if you're kind of, well, we can't pay him this and we're not keeping him for that long.
Slide this number over. He's going to hate it, but we're going to say really nice things.
You know,
about him.
even for Stamkos to hear in the media, that's the way to do it, I would suggest.
Would you dig deep and go, odd that he said had been lifelong Lightning? Seemed to have a longer spiel about Hedman.
Yeah, two different reporters, and we don't know what's been paraphrased and what hasn't, but you're
Okay,
right.
sorry.
He's gushing on Hedman there. AHL hockey, a couple days away in Calgary, Rhett. And look at this. Our pal, Sander Persina, who does such a great job on play-by-play of the Wranglers, scouted this at center ice. Huh?
Was she flying a drone?
Let's see. No, that's the Peter Maher broadcast.
Hope she got clearance for that. You can get in big trouble flying drones without
Big trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Near an airport, the feds will show up at your door in moments.
Sandman almost got thrown in jail the one day. We were out with the
Again?
drone.
Jeez.
Yeah, what's he doing with that? There's a history there.
Friday, Sunday, games 1 and 2 at the Dome. Go get it. Let's go Wranglers. Or as my kids say, Wranglers. No, son, not Wranglers. Dustin Wolf's been great. We'll see how he does round 2 against the top-seeded Coachella Valley Firebirds. Okay, let's move. We have baseball. Now, remember Rod Black, longtime announcer at TSN, CBC for a bit, I believe. Olympics, baseball, everything.
No way.
This is his kid at the dish,
Nice.
Tyler Black, playing for the Milwaukee Brewers, first Major League game.
Lefty.
And Rod is in the stands with their field reporter, and they're like, hey, Rod, you used to be an announcer. Why don't you call this at bat? And then he went on to say,
Well, you don't have to.
That was wicked. Now I'm teary.
We don't have the right clip. It's all right.
I'm going to Milwaukee this summer. You guys want to go?
Yep.
cheap beer.
And cheese.
Bottled beer, $1 American last time I was there. Now, that was a while ago still. But
inflation.
I know, it might be 2. And then the bartenders would play dice with you for shots. And
at the game.
$20 blind. Beautiful stuff.
At the bar or at the game?
At the bar.
Oh.
At the game, they're not dollar bottled beers.
I'm not going to the bar.
Now, you went a long time ago now.
Last time I was in Milwaukee would have been right when I started with you donkeys on the morning show, probably summer of 2013 or 14.
Right. So about a decade ago. I wonder if inflation has hit the...
Yeah. Even then, though, that was nuts. You'd never see a beer for $3 was insane. But Milwaukee.
Hence, Pinder went to Milwaukee.
Yeah. You would have remembered this now because I have the anecdote. Went with a pal. Chicago, because the Jays were playing the White Sox. Got there early, saw a Cubbies game at Wrigley, checked that box, and then it was like, oh, Stroman's pitching today. We're going to spend a little more to get really close. He lasted 1 1/3, just got shelled. They lost $1 billion. No. And then went up to Milwaukee for a pair of games where they tailgated on weekdays at noon. Do you have jobs? Don't know. That wasn't the only hijinks in Major League Baseball last night. We had bees.
It was hijinks.
Bees in Arizona. Now, you already, we've heard the song already on the show, but let's just sit back and enjoy as a beekeeper's been brought in. That's your safety net, Dean, and the bees trying to make a hive there.
Do you just have one of these guys on staff?
Maybe you do in Arizona. They need to hear him.
Yeah, they do.
Cheering.
Oh, there's the vacuum. Get the shop vac out. Okay, Yeah, good suction there. Yeah, all right.
He's living it up here. This guy's taking a sweet ass time.
You don't want to rush with these. You got to stay calm. Rhett. Anyway, they let him throw the first pitch out, and people went nuts. How good is that?
Caught a ball at Chase Field.
You did.
I did.
Like one off the bat?
While eating a foot-long chili cheese.
Hitting
delicious
chili
dog.
cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
I've seen you hammer food. You could say you hit the chili. That wouldn't be inaccurate. Oh, a big day here north of the 49th yesterday, Dino. It was the world famous, even referenced on The Simpsons, CFL draft. I love this art. This is my favorite. The two dudes obviously wearing toupees, the bad blazers. It's just The Simpsons, man. They're funny. Oh, good work, guys.
I still like watching The Simpsons.
I want to rewatch the old. What was it? They say like 3 to 10, 3 to 11. Those are the glory years there, do you know?
Yeah,
Season 3 to 11.
It was a little certainly not as good. Like a lot of shows, I think they find their way.
Well, it's still going, right? Like
So, yeah.
it can be good forever. Here are your first rounders. The Stamps had a first, then they traded to get another. There's Benjamin LeBrose or something like that. He is a defensive back from McGill. We'll keep the red. And then Christy Nakanu, an O-lineman, pushing piles from Washington State.
What is that helmet?
Those are the, what do they call them? Just
Practice helmet?
Yeah, they wear them
They're for concussions, I think, right?
NFL.
Yeah,
they wear them for.
They just approved them for games in the NFL, right?
No one's going to wear them. It's a joke.
Tua should wear one.
Tua should wear one. That's a shot.
Jesus.
What are they called? There's a name for them. It's like a
helmet.
No. It's something cap. Something cap.
Foam cap.
Google it.
I'm not Googling that.
Not you, Jack. Come on, boss. Get on it. The Denver Nuggets. Did you see Jokic walking in the other day? Looked eerily similar to someone famous. On the top, you have Gru from Minions, and on the bottom, you have Jokic. It's the same outfit. Exactly.
I like that. I watched
It's
a
beautiful.
special. I watched a
Despicable Me?
special on that big fella last night at Grandpa Bill's house.
Did they
Brew?
talk about his crazy brothers?
They mentioned him. They
Ooh,
talked
they're
about him
fighting
being
people in the
a bit of
stands
a-
all the time, those monsters.
Yeah, they mentioned him being a bit of a chub growing up.
All right.
Had to
Bit of
lose
the
a
body
few
by milk.
to
Yeah.
get out there.
Yeah.
I like him.
Makes it look easy.
No one you know what? We don't need fat shaming. Doesn't help.
Who's shaving?
Shaving?
Not,
They shave
not
the fat off?
shaving. Not shaving
shaving.
fat.
Sounds painful. Tim Nacky time. Let's go, baby. Manifest the Millie.
It's day 80, going to blackjack and betting 10 cents for every Instagram follower I've got. There are 1,080,000 of your legends in here now, so $108,000 bet coming right up. After yesterday's blackjack, we are staring down the precipice of the millie. Manifest that shit. Big bet coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is day 80. We have picked our opponent for the 1,080,000 of your legends in here now. We have a $108,000 bet going on the line. We are not fucking around with side bets after being anally reamed by them yesterday. This guy definitely combs his hair with his own ejaculate.
Oh.
You can tell a mile away, but still, he may be good to us on the felt here. Let's go, Big Bicky's key. Oh, King's good. Go 10 here. 21. Back-to-back blackjacks. Back-to-back fucking blackjacks. You wouldn't fucking read about that. That is not humanly possible, is it? Holy shit, he's got cum in his hair and there's some in my pants. Oh, yes. Yes, we are staring right down the precipice of the millie. A day away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you tomorrow when we will be bidding even more. Can you fucking believe it?
It's a good question.
Jeez.
Back-to-back blackjack.
Wow.
Must be nice. Must be nice. I've never seen cards like that in my life.
That's awesome.
All right. This one's called Bench. So I believe one of Boomer's kids in the garage here, they set up a little gym. Oh, no. Oh, the side of the car. Oh, no. No.
Now, if you have ramps, can you ramp that out, Dean?
Yeah. Turn it into an inclined bench, Rhett. Yeah. Ramp up the backside there. Keep the weight forward.
What's his buddy just stood there for so long?
What a dummy.
Because his buddy's car just got drilled by this ass hat. That's why he's like, "You're a clown,
Bro. New extreme sports called snow kayaking. Let's take a look. See, it's like spring season for the ski hills. Oh.
Is that a giggle?
They're laughing because he almost died but didn't die. Out of control. Oh,
He's fortunate for sure.
yes. Yeah, I'm not sure about the braking system on those things. Not ideal.
No.
We like amusement rides, Dean. Let's check out this one. We get the music, we get the lights spinning as it does the big loop-de-loop. Hold you upside down, spin you around some more. I want you to keep an eye on Carney Cam at the bottom there. He's sitting down. He's watching this go around. I think he's got his hands by the levers. Now he's getting up. Something has to be adjusting something. Carney Cam at the bottom. And good night. Oh.
Man.
You
should know the path of
Paid
that.
enough to take that one.
Which is odd because carnies are usually very intelligent.
Well, they've been running these rigs.
Goodness. Left a mark, I'm told. Let's head to the bar. There's a bit of a dispute between Rhett and some other people in Buffalo. Someone said Iginla's kid shouldn't be top 10. Rhett's leaning over saying he's a top 10 pick. Read about it, figure it out, and things escalate. Iginla, Tij is a good kid. I know his dad. Splash, water in the face. Another water. Oh, come on, water. Oh, geez.
Yes.
That one hurt.
Oh, Rhett. Wow. Did not see that coming. You think there'd be a middle level between water and stool, but there wasn't.
And what's good is he just went to wipe the fluid from his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chair
geez.
shot.
Can't hurt me. I'm already CTE.
It's true.
Is that right? Someone recorded people crossing crosswalks in different countries, and we'll see if you can see the very subtle difference. We'll start in Japan, and I want you to guess which ones are Japan and which ones are in America. Let's have a look. Crosses, they stop and bow. Looks like Japan. Stop and bow. Again, Japan. Even the animals are waiting. It's very polite. And then there's...
Yeah, let him have it.
I think that's Japan. Anyway, travel the world, experience different cultures. It's the best.
Yeah.
You got to get out and see the world, Dean.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You get out of your house, see these different crosswalks.
You're right. I got to get out more.
Gator, let's go. What do you got, Gator? What are you gonna... Oh, this is on the freeway. I'm guessing Florida. And I don't know if this guy was just working out or if this is his full-time job. Are there that many Floridas on the freeway? Or crocodiles and gators on the freeway? Look at that. Duct tape on the snout. And see you later, folks. Another hero, Dean. Another hero.
Yeah.
Don't know if the tight pants were necessary, but he did get that gator off the freeway.
Well, he takes his stuff
Florida
seriously.
Yeah. And finally, the aforementioned bedroom snake. It's a very large. Is that the cat? No, pull the tail. How long is it? Well, turn the lights on. Here we are. Oh, you got it by the head, Dean. That's a good move. Where's Bear when you need him? Come on in, Bear. Let's go.
This is just part of the daily activity that you got to deal with.
Yeah, you got to throw the snakes out.
Well, once you put your baby in the kennel for the night.
Bear, get in there. Let's go. There's Grandma. She's going to help.
Not
Yep,
intimidated.
Grandma,
in
grab the
least.
middle here before this thing constricts. That's a healthy snake, Dean. Maybe, you know what? I changed my mind. Maybe don't leave the house, Dean. Maybe just stay right where you are.
Cats and
Don't go
dogs
see
and-
the world. Just no snakes here.
Rhett, your thoughts?
Gross.
That's your Pinder Report.
New in-stock inventory on the ground. More arriving daily. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda. New vehicle pricing is MSRP.
Zarp.
Could you guys talk to Anthony?
About?
Because my Honda Civic, my first ever vehicle,
Yep.
the ignition, they need to tweak that a little.
I think that was a while ago, but you're right. You used to be able to start it with your finger or something crazy.
Yeah, if you had, it was,
Those were good times.
And you could just hotwire cars easily.
If you had a big, like a big screwdriver, a lot of times that would work. Your finger.
Yeah.
HB pencil. Yeah.
My Cutlass, if you had any key that could fit into the ignition of a General Motors car, it would start it.
Nice.
Any GM square key,
Master key.
bang. You come out from school, high school, lunchtime. Guess I'm staying at school for lunch because someone's taking my car. Great. Just let me know when you're back, I guess.
Someone was making that 35-minute run to McDonald's at the border.
Yeah, someone had to run into Yorkton and grab some nuggets, I suppose. I wanted just a few things before we, because we have our Betway and some other stuff that I want to do. But let's do this from here. I want to tell you about our friends at Aroused. Bringing the sex into sexual health. Medical therapies to optimize your life in the bedroom and the bathroom. Now, it's what are you talking about? Well, if you're waking up at night to pee, and the thing is, if you're under the age of 60, you should not be getting up during the night to pee. If you're getting up, you notice like after a couple beers, you got to go to the washroom more often, then the treatment with Emsella is a treatment. Provides 11,000 Kegels in like 30 minutes. It's tightening things up in there. Proven treatment for men to regain control over their bladder, promote prostate health, and improves erections. Now, Viasure, powerful software technology, softwave technology, 15-minute treatment forms new blood vessels, which increases the blood flow to the penis. With both of these, you're going to see results in 2 to 3 weeks, 15-minute treatments. And we as men, we don't usually talk about this sort of stuff. It's like, oh, well, geez, gosh, we'll maybe joke about it, ha, 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 but we don't really have a serious place, don't know how to talk about with this stuff. It's an awkward thing for a lot of guys. Doctors may say, well, here's a blue pill and you take it before. Yeah, okay, but what about treat the source, not the symptom? And Dr. Jimmy, been doing this for over 20 years, has just sees the emotional impact that can have in men, that it can have in marriages, and it's about making life better, making marriages better, just better all around, and the health side of it, of course. Aroused, safe place to prevent and preserve your sexual function. To book a consultation, go online, bearoused.ca. You see it right there. The Mod Medical Clinic, bearoused.ca to find out more. Maybe some questions will be answered. And it's, like I say, it's a safe space. Easy to talk about. Drug-free. Bring spontaneity back to the bedroom. Preserve, prevent, and optimize sexual and penile function.
Give me the horns after that.
Pim, 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 pim.
Pow, pow.
I had 41 Coors Light.
Whoop, wrong one.
That's when I have to go pee in the middle.
Yeah, I really have to after that. Yeah, after that. Bearoused.ca is the website. So a couple of things that we'll do here. Play a little game. I got a couple things I want to show you, and then we'll do our Betway bets. How about that? Do you want me to do the bet first?
Is this like the name the fired coaches game we played yesterday? Something like that?
Yeah, kind of like that.
All right, I like that game. That was fun.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is called So 7.
7.
So I'll give you the series, and are we going to get 7 games?
Right.
So if you're ready, we'll do 7. LA, Edmonton. 7? No. Both are shaking their head.
Shit, we're at 5. There's no way that's getting to 7.
Vegas and Dallas. So
7.
7?
7.
7?
7.
7.
7?
7.
Boston, Toronto. 7?
7.
1 Leaf win away, Retro.
They've only lost 6 in a row at home. So it'll either be a 7th loss in a row at home ice, or you get a game 7.
Have the Leafs planted the seed of doubt in the Boston Bruins? 7?
Do we lose Rhett?
No, he's there.
He's just not made up his mind. Oh, he just shook his head.
Did you say no?
How dare you?
No 7? Oh.
Do you know how bad we want this? I don't
I
care
can
who
give
wins
you
this
what you
series.
want, or I could give you reality. It ain't happening.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
You didn't see enough? You weren't
They fluked their way.
Joseph Woll?
Whoa.
Woll. Vancouver, Nashville. 7?
7.
7?
7.
7. I think it goes 7 too. I'm with you guys.
Back to Nashville. If you think about the wins Vancouver's had, like game 1, 2 goals in the third, 12 seconds apart, changes everything. And then they have the improbable 0.4% chance comeback down 2 with like less than 3 minutes left. Like Nashville's done just fine here, and they're working on Vancouver's second or third string goalie.
Yeah. Now you
7.
have Nashville in this series, so you wouldn't be surprised to see it be 7 necessarally.
Happy for 7.
Nashville could be up in this.
7.
Yeah.
And as we heard from Noodles, they could very easily be up here. Almost should be, really.
18.4 shots on goal average for Vancouver. Pettersson, 5 games, 1.5 on 5.
Not enough.
Their power play. You know, we say it about the power play. You want to score, but whatever you do, if you can't score, don't be feeding the other team some momentum. Don't be giving them some gas and feeling good about things. And that's pretty much the only thing Vancouver's power play has done. Last night, 0 for 2, no shots on net. They are 0 for 8 on home ice, 2 for 13 on the series. That's an 11.8% clip, if you need it.
That's worse than the Flames mid-season when we wanted to tar and feather everyone that even looked at that power play. It was bad. They've
been good with the goalie off, right? They scored a couple.
That's true. The 6 on 5, they're good. The 5 on 4, a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah. But yeah, they scored 2 and 18 seconds in game 1, 2 with the goalie pulled in game 4. Weird series.
Very weird
one.
Especially when you factor in getting down to your third stringer.
Yeah, that's
a team has overcome a 3-1 series deficit to advance in each of the past 3 postseasons and 4 in the last 5. Each of the rallies have come in the first round.
I was just going to say, always first round.
You got it.
Last year, it would have been Florida over Boston because Boston had that 3-1 lead. And then
Florida-Boston 2023, Rangers v. Pittsburgh in 2022.
Ooh, don't remember that one. Jack, Rangers Pittsburgh 2022, 3-1 deficit. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yes.
That's who was in net?
Tristan Jarry?
No.
Casey DeSmith?
Some complete duster ended up playing. I forget who it was. He's because they were up 3-1 and they had the backup was hurt as well. I gotta Google this.
Oh man.
Oh, it was the former Flame. Had the meat and the broccoli.
Oh yeah, that's right. Louis Domingue.
Domingue.
Not the best. Broccoli.
Not the best. That's
not
right.
Some
complete duster.
He is a duster. That's totally accurate.
Montreal v. Toronto in 2021.
That was bubble, right?
That's bubble, right?
Yeah.
Because Montreal went.
Oh, I remember where I was for that. Oh,
to Foley. That's right.
Yep.
And then we all remember this one, San Jose, Vegas, 2019.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
That was
the 5-minute major.
Pavelski shot, right?
Yeah, it's a bad look on the league there.
Yeah.
Well, but everyone forgets San Jose scores twice or ties it up or take the lead. Vegas ties it and it goes to overtime. So yes, that swung the momentum in the game, but those weren't the clinching goals. It was still who wants to score in overtime, you win the
Don't
series.
be an idiot. You know that they screwed up. Don't.
They did screw up.
Thank you.
I do like it.
An idiot.
I do like it when Pinder's like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to dip a toe into a little argument here. Maybe we're going to have a little tete-a-tete.
No. I was just because
Like, don't be an idiot.
people
All
forget
right,
that game went to overtime. That's what because they did get the lead on that 5-minute major.
Mhm.
But Vegas came back and tied it.
Don't be an idiot. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. The league did.
So there you go. So 7. We got 2 no 7s and 2 7s. I guess that's okay.
It's okay.
Vegas, Dallas, Vancouver, Nashville.
Hey, fellas, before last night,
Fellas.
did we feel like we had any chance at a 7? Like even 2 nights ago, we had our first 2-2 series. We were talking
Well,
we could all be done in 5.
I would have thought 1, maybe Dallas, Vegas, because it's been so tight. But yeah,
When it was
And if
2
you were
rip
to
Vegas, we didn't feel that way. But yeah, like we might get a
even
couple
a game 6, Boston, Toronto at home. I'm like,
Yeah.
win
that's good.
or lose, that's epic.
Yeah, that's good.
And if you would have said at the outset, hey, give me a series or 2 that's guaranteed to go 7. Lightning, Panthers,
Mhm.
maybe Jets, Colorado, Slobber
Maybe, yeah.
Knockers, maybe Vegas, Dallas.
Vegas, Dallas.
Boston, Toronto would have got some love.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to show this. Now, a lot has been written in the last couple of weeks and beyond that about the Arizona Coyotes and their move to Utah.
Oh
and stuff.
man.
Emily Kaplan, ESPN, along with Greg Wyshynski, they collaborated
Scathing
for a little
piece,
bit of
I call it.
a little bit of a timeline. Like, here's how it all kind of went along, and they go through the whole thing. Near the end, this was part of this story. I'll read it for those that aren't watching. Now, Shane Doan, of course, longtime Coyote, then worked for the Coyotes after his retirement as Chief Hockey Development Officer, but had higher aspirations, eventually seeking to become their President of Hockey Ops in 2023. According to a source, he was told he, quote, wasn't ready, end quote, for the position. A verdict handed down by the owner's son, Alex Morello Jr., the team's chief brand officer, who had taken a more active interest in the hockey operations department. Doan, the franchise's most iconic player, left to join the Toronto Maple Leafs front office. Like, we had heard this,
Yeah.
but man,
Wow.
big up stupid, right?
I mean,
It's-
his billionaire
back
dad just
further.
bought the team and he'd liked hockey for a couple of years. Why isn't he ready to do that? What the fuck does Shane don't know about hockey?
Go back further.
My dad's a
Didn't
billionaire.
They F him over when he was
The
ending his-
banner?
The
banner's bad luck.
the
The banner.
career, the
yeah. Huh.
Insane. And look, the NHL's had to play nice here because they needed to extract that franchise from him. And oh yeah, he's going to get this rink done, and we've locked in his expansion rate at $1 billion. There's no way they let this asshat back to the table.
Yeah.
No way.
There was I forget the phrasing in the article by these two, but they said that Gary Bettman's not usually one to play ball. It's Gary's way. This
Yeah.
is what it is. But there was the concern and risk that things may get litigious.
Lawyer.
That if he decided to lawyer up, he probably had himself a bit of a case. So okay,
I don't want to sell. You need to sell.
and it does sound funny, right? It's it's not an expansion team. It's not a relocation. We're just deactivated,
Yeah, we're just
It's a
going to hibernate. for a
deactivation.
bit. Yeah.
and then we'll activate. Okay.
Yeah.
How does someone that become a multimillionaire / billionaire? How does it,
judging by the article that was written by Emily Kaplan at The
Mm-hmm.
Athletic, it's just basically by never holding up your end of an agreement and owing people money, being a jerk. No one wants to do business with this cat. That's
Yeah, it
why he
seemed like it
didn't get a
was-
rink built when they had a team. So I don't know how he's going to get a rink built when
why
they
he got
don't
kicked
have
out of the rink that they had.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The city of Glendale said, this asshole owes us over $1 million. We would rather not collect that money and just not have to deal with him. That's the asshole tax I'm willing to pay to be out of this guy's, to get no Alex Morello exposure.
It is a big asshole tax, but it is that for
Huge.
sure. Yeah. You've really done something, I mean, you could be a jerk and a dick, but have you been paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars?
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Because of, for your dickishness?
Yeah.
Put me in the
See,
right
Pinder,
spot.
you're a dick. You're
I
not
haven't been
making that kind
compensated
of
nearly
dough.
enough. Yeah.
Hey?
Is my Richard behavior not strong enough?
No,
Do I need to be
you got to
more
work
of a
on
dick?
it, man. Get to work. Yeah, so not that that's necessarily breaking news, but and in that story as well, there's of course this land auction that's coming up near Scottsdale, North Phoenix,
Scottsdale,
whatever.
yeah.
And there was some thought that maybe local businesses or just whatever business owners who would be ordinarily involved or would be interested in this land, would say, we don't want to win the auction and then be portrayed as the reason the Coyotes leave. Now that they're gone, now it's like, well, we're totally in on this auction. We're very happy to show up and bid on this now. If we didn't want to be the bad guy that sent a pro sports team packing, but since they've already gone, yeah, then we definitely want to put our multiplex or whatever on that land.
Did you guys see the press conference he held with Gary Bettman? It was the most painful and cringy, and like Gary's like grabbing his arm, interrupting him to like take his own foot out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I really don't like dealing with the media. I think what Mr. Morello is saying is it's been very challenging. Like, it was just awful. How could, to your point, someone that is amassed that kind of wealth not know how to do this at all? It's baffling.
God. And we know you could skate, so that's how you got yours.
Great skater. Yes. You're talking about me, right?
You guys are right.
Yeah.
Always
What a
had the
stride.
wheels. Yeah.
That was the arms. Damn it.
It's both. Yeah, perhaps both.
Full package, Red.
Yeah. And so in touch with our buddy, the Hiltons. They're out in Strathmore, putting in their 100 and barley. This came down the pipeline. Shout out to Shelley and her crew at Boston Pizza South Trail for an awesome Origin 6 Sutter shooter launch. Ooh. Ron and Dwayne Sutter, along with Kim and Alicia from Origin Brewing. Look at that.
Look at this.
Come on down, enjoy a pint of 6 Sutter shooter, and watch some NHL playoff hockey.
Got on tap.
Those boys.
Beautiful.
4 cups for Dog?
Hoof.
I think he was there for all 4, wasn't he?
Greedy.
For sure.
Greedy. Share a little.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh,
on tap.
I'll tell you what. The Rockyford Raspberry this time of year, if the snow ever gets out of here, that is absolutely the move in the spring. And then, of course, we're getting into Barn Burner Blunt season, fellas.
Yeah, I think it will. Of course, Barn Burner.
Oh, look at this.
Which this one came in. This was now mentioned him on the show. I think we talked about it yesterday. This is K-Man when he had texted the show. A couple of hot blondes at the campsite. Barn burner, camping, blondes with big cans is what it says there. Now, that's not us talking. I don't really think that's very appropriate. But K-Man took some Barn Burner Blonde, some Origin Brewing on the road for the camping road trip.
Nice there. Jeez.
Is that all right?
Do you sleep right on that asphalt path? That's awesome.
I think he's setting up a shot there. Nice little background. So again, if you have Barn Burner Blonde in your life and you're out camping, you're out on whatever you're doing, you take a photo, you send it to, we'll put you on the show.
Gosh darn
if you're
it,
a establishment, you have a liquor store, a little place where people can buy their bottles of booze, the cans of beer. You're selling it. You got it on shelf. Send us a picture. We're going to put you on the show. You're going into Origin. You're going into the tap room. You're having yourself a nice frosty mug out of the tap with some Barn Burner Blonde. You send us a photo of you and you guys having a hell of a time. Put you on the show. We'll put you on the show. It is Barn Burner Blonde.
It's a good deal. Yeah, let's go.
And we went through a few hundred at that draft.
Oh, that photo. I was so proud of the fellas.
That is a great photo.
And just hammered a bunch of Triple B.
Yeah, that is a great photo. Good stuff. We'll do our Betway bets.
You going hockey? Double hockey tonight, Tito?
You're damn right. You're not going to like it. I'll just give you a heads up. You're not going to like it. Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. You create the new account, scan the QR code on the screen, and you will redeem your bonus. Place a bet, put it down. No minimum amount required. And if it happens to lose, you'll get a refund up to $200. That's the welcome wagon from Betway.
Love it.
Then you use that, go back in, bet on your favorite sports. Offer only available outside of Ontario. Two-banger tonight. Not the Costco two-banger, just the NHL two-banger. Feels like it's Zach Hyman all the time.
Good Lord.
First goal, plus 700. The anytime goal wasn't a great pay, so I'm going on the first goal.
He's like plus money. He's like 105, like almost even. Like, jeez.
Even money to score.
Hyman doesn't score. It's like he's letting down the world. That's what good he's been.
Yeah, so we'll take a bit of a long shot there. And a power play point from Leon pays 105. He has a power play point in each of the last 4 games, 6 power play points in the last 4 games. Get one tonight, plus money, a little better than even, plus 105.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking similarly here, Dean. Let's look at the bottom bet first. Draisaitl 2+ points, plus 120. That feels like that's a regular occurrence. Never mind in this series that the Oilers have put up huge numbers until game 4. And I'm also jumping on young fellow Wyatt Johnston, who everyone's in love with the Stars. Over 3.5 shots. Last 2 games combined, guess how many shots?
14.
14. I'll take
the only reason I know that is because Pinder, I had it on my list.
There you go.
Right there.
Yeah, you and I. We got Draisaitl bets.
And then I
Look at
scratched
Wyatt
it.
Johnston's shot stats.
Wasn't too sure.
7. Let's go, fellas.
Betway. Bet the responsible way with our buddies at Betway. And why wouldn't you? If you keep hearing us blathering on about it and you haven't done it yet, get yourself that new account with Betway. Scan the QR code and you will be able to place that. You'll get that refund we're talking about. $200 if your first bet loses. Redeem the bonus. You place a bet, loses $200 back in, then you use that to bet on your favorite sports. Offer only available outside of Ontario. Yep. Join the action with Betway. Betway. Well, it's kind of wet and snowing here.
Yeah, it's gross and windy and wet and snowing here. Jack, is that land on the ground melting or does it accumulating out there? It's
yeah, nice there, bud.
Bitch, Rhett. Recycling day? Garbage day?
I don't know, but it's gorgeous out.
Do they recycle out there? Some of those states,
do.
they don't know what it is.
No composting.
Yeah. The Americans, then they come here, they always confuse, like, what are these green ones? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Compost?
Nenshi.
Freaking Nenshi.
Is there anything else going on sports-wise? I mean, it's
there's a matinee today if you're looking for F-all to do. It is Royals Jays rubber match 107 first pitch. Chris Bassett on the bump for the home side.
Carol Baskin?
That bitch, Carol Baskin. That was a hell of a show.
Yeah.
You're
talking about having nothing going on. Yeah.
5:30 in Dallas, 8 o'clock up in the cultural capital where people keep beating each other up in the Moss Pit or whatever they're calling it. Why there's some punchy in it?
WHL in your report?
Stabby.
You were supposed to talk about the WHL in your report.
Yeah, you didn't have any dub.
It is a Moose Jaw victory. They lead Saskatoon 2-1. Portland's up 2-1 on PG. It's early.
Light travel out west.
Yeah, we were comparing the bus times. It's about, you said about 2 hours, Moose Jaw to Sask.
Yeah.
And then we looked at it was about 13, not including the border from PG to Portland. Yeah. Duh.
Great buses, though.
From Kim. Hi, all. Am I the only one lamenting the Jets are finished for the season? It's the only fan base who was not obnoxious enough for me to want to cheer for them to win.
I'd agree with that, Kim. Yeah, like I think that is a fan base that's lovable.
It's because they've had nothing to feel good about.
100%. Yes.
For any amount of time. So they don't have enough time or momentum to be jerks.
It was like Vegas year 1. Everyone loved them. And then they started winning and like getting everyone's free agents doing all these trades. Like, screw these guys are jerks.
Yeah.
Jets haven't enough winning for people to be mad at them.
Shovel Day Off should just do it. The Jets or the Knights are doing.
Go get Stamkos.
It's easy.
What win the cup?
Yeah, just win and
just win.
Free agents and have guys hurt. It's like they'll sign there. Just make them an offer.
Yeah. I felt watching that, just knowing exactly how it was going to go. I felt for Chipman. sitting upstairs. He's like, I can't get people to come to the rink. I can't get free agents to come here. This is we got home ice in the playoffs. Maybe win a round or two, make some money, get people invested in this team. They'll buy season tickets for next year. If anything, fans probably feel less inclined to buy tickets. Like, I just have my heart's
No, you were
broken.
listening to Noodles.
Well,
it was a great
that
year.
is hard.
I'm telling you, it was a good year, but when that's how it ends, it's almost
think-
reinforcement that it's just never gonna.
Well,
Oh, come
and also,
on.
does it not feel, and I don't know the guy, and you probably don't either, but he's doing it for the benefit of the community.
Yes. Yeah, he's
And
not getting
they're-
rich doing this.
Not gonna support. Obviously, they did in the playoffs, but
And they will get rich if they ever decide to sell that thing. But yeah,
They can move him to Phoenix.
I
That'll
heard
be
there's
the thing,
great
right?
prospective owner there. Yeah.
Yeah. Move him to
No,
Phoenix.
I think the attendance thing is. I'm not sure that I'm as freaked out as everyone else because you just had to remember.
I'm not freaked out. But there's
Yeah.
owners that are in it for winning, and there's owners that are in it for money, and there's owners that are doing it. Not very many owners are doing it strictly for community.
Yeah,
And
they are.
I would
Yeah.
bet that he is.
Yeah.
You know,
Thompson
it's
family and
never
Chipman,
just one
yeah.
thing, but I would bet that's the biggest thing for him.
I
was
think when
putting
that
his-
franchise ended up there, that was writing a wrong deed.
He was putting his money where his mouth was before they left the first time.
Yeah.
He was one of in the group trying to save the Jets before they went to Phoenix back in the mid 90s. So yeah, I agree with you. This one from Tim. Boom Pinderette. Can we please do something about making sure Tim is available to at least attend the draft lottery via Teams? Offer him a supply of your supply of Barn Burner Blonde. We need his luck. Barn Burner.
I'll reach out to Naki again, but he is going to be I think 14 time zones away when that NHL draft lottery goes
And I've been barred.
from.
You told me I can't be part of anything.
Yeah,
that's
it's a no
going on.
negativity live stream that we're going to do on Tuesday. There is no booms allowed. It's like
Is that how you get out of it?
What if I just poke my head in? Do the Pinder
you
run.
son of a bitch. And the Flames have moved back to 10th. Dave,
Hello.
what are you talking about? How'd they move back?
Oh, hey guys. Do you think he'll get a shutout? Score! Oh! Trade a goal scorer named Kuzmenko to try and find a goal scorer to replace Kuzmenko. Genius, Pinder.
Yeah, you're right. You want to be the guys loading up for Kuzmenko when he's 30 in 2 years. That fits their window, right? With all these kids are going to draft in the top 10 the next 3 years. You need a 33-year-old guy that doesn't play defense.
Be smarter.
Come on, Hugger. That's the guy that hugged you, I think, dude.
Now, do they have a window?
When
'Cause
you
they
look,
don't, right? When we talk about is that in their window, they really don't have.
No,
one.
what
They'd
I'm
love
saying
to
is,
get
like,
one.
who are their star core players? They don't have.
They're
it.
gonna get
So the
Marner
idea
for
would be
Markstrom.
the idea would be that you would draft one at 1, 2, 9, or 10 this year. You got another cut in the first round this year with Vancouver's pick to potentially find a star. It's going to be harder. It's a late first, but it can happen. Pasternak was sort of in that range.
Just to get clarification, because I'm dumb and you're smart about this stuff. It's best for Vancouver to lose early, right?
For the Flames pick getting higher?
Yeah.
Yes. If they make the final four, that pick will be 29, 30, 31, 32. If they don't make the final four, it's earlier than that. We also have to figure out the conditional picks of Dallas, Vancouver, and Vegas as well. There's a lot of complicating factors. Either way, you're young. The core pieces of the future aren't there yet. There is no star player that is in the organization yet.
Conway screwed this all up. He should have got Bowen Byram from the frickin' Avs. He should trade Markstrom to Toronto for Marner. Now we got 3 good defensemen, plus Shillington will sign. Now we got a top 4. We got Marner coming in. We're going to draft Iginla, Marner to Iginla on the power play. What do we? Come on. It's
Easy.
not difficult.
It's checkers, Connie.
Winnipeg should do what Vegas is doing.
Yeah.
And
win the
just-
cup.
Just do this.
Yeah, but the notion of a window would be that you'd hope your next 3 drafts, 24, 25, 26, where you've got lots of picks, those are the guys that will be your star players the next time you're a cup contender. And at that point, how old is Kuzmenko?
Yeah.
31.
Sounds like a ways off.
Yes.
Yeah. because I feel like the Flames, they're looking for a window. We'd love, I don't know when it'll
jump
be,
out of, or what are you
but we'd
talking?
like to, we're looking for a window, and then we'll figure out when to use the window. You missed the playoffs in back-to-back years. I don't know
It's
if
not
you
your
got a
window right now.
It's not a window.
And look, all the reasons you like Kuzmenko are great. Those are the reasons teams would trade a lot for him as well.
Potentially.
I mean, look, yeah, if he's a valuable player, it means he does things well. He felt like a throw-in the Lindholm deal. This is found money. Connie's done well here, friends.
Just
Not
the
as good
a
as if
lot
he'd listen.
part.
Not as good as if he'd listened to me. We'd already be back. There'd be windows all around us. Have whatever one we
Be
want.
huge. Yeah. Yeah. And finally, Pinder, did you tighten up the mullet?
Looks good. Looks real good. You
I have
taking
to
the
MC a gal.
oi,
My
oi,
wife is
oi, what
furious.
out this weekend? What's
Furious. Not happy at all. Hey, what time are you home from work today, honey? I got to go get a haircut. Thank God.
Wow.
Even worse.
What a joy for this lovely lady.
You showed her. You showed her,
Now,
buddy.
when I'm playing this card, but it is a absolute power card. You know, I will cut the mullet, but you're gonna have to let me go see the Jays in Seattle this weekend.
Winner, ladies and gentlemen, right there. One of life's big winners. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. See you tomorrow, buddies.